How can we take our 3D model we have right now and transform it into something that we can animate like this? That's what we're going to talk about in this video, rigging. 3D models are like statues. They're stiff and can't move at all, and 3D character rigging is essentially putting joints inside of those statues in order that they can bend and move around kind of like an action figure does. While this series is not primarily focused on rigging, and I am not a professional rig creator, I'm about to show you exactly how I create all of my rigs in Blender and get them animation ready in just minutes. So first and foremost, I'm gonna scooch this tab on over because we really don't need it right now. And I'm actually gonna wanna box select everything in my scene and press H to hide it, then press Shift plus Tab and spawn in a cube. Now I'm going to want to press Tab to go into edit mode, scale this cube down, scale it up on the X-axis, or excuse me, the Z-axis. Then I'm going to want to go press T to open the tools menu here, go to loop cut, place the loop cut in the center, and from this little menu right here, I'm going to increase the number of loop cuts to about 20. Now I'm going to press Tab, press Shift plus A, and spawn in an armature single bone. Now we can't actually see our bone through our cube here, and in order to change that, we're gonna go to these object data properties, which is like the little green running man icon, which if we click on another object, we're not actually gonna see that. So I wanna click back on my bone, go to this object data properties tab and click on in front so that we can see our bone in front of our object. I'm gonna press Tab to go into edit mode, and look at this, this is our bone. So there's two parts of our bone here, right? We have this bottom part and this top part. And if we press N to open this little menu on the right here, you're gonna see that this right here is what's considered the head of our bone, this bottom one. We can change the values of it in this menu if we wish. And the tail of our bone is this top part. So this is the head of our bone and this is the tail of our bone. And we can edit the values of this in here if we want to. But normally you're just gonna be editing those values directly in the viewport here. So I'm gonna press GC to move this down, GC to move this down. And then I can create a new bone from this bone by clicking on the tail of the bone, then pressing E to extrude, locking it to the Z axis, like so. Now I'm gonna press Tab to go back into object mode. Then I'm gonna press Alt A to deselect all. Then I'll select my cube and then my bones. Then I'm gonna press Ctrl plus P on my keyboard and do armature deform with automatic weights. So now you can see that if we click on our bones and then press Ctrl plus Tab, we're going to now be in a different mode in Blender called pose mode. So to switch from object mode to pose mode, just select on your bones and go to pose mode, or you can press Ctrl plus Tab, which is what I almost always press. So with all that out of the way, if we rotate our cube here, you're gonna see that it is actually deforming to our bones we just created. And this is kind of just how rigging works in general. You have a series of bones that then get weight painted to an object like they've automatically been weight painted here. Then we move these bones around in order to create animations and poses for our characters. So I'm gonna select all bones with A and reset them with Alt R. Now I'm gonna go back into edit mode by clicking up here. And it's important to note that you can also press Shift plus D to duplicate bones. You can press Alt plus P to clear parents. So for this bone in particular, Alt plus P, I could clear the parent. And if I go back into pose mode and try to rotate this, this bone will now stay in place, which brings up a really important part of how bones and rigging works in general in Blender, which is that bones in 3D have a hierarchy, just as bones in real life on real skeletons also have a hierarchy. And having bones in a hierarchy like this helps keep our character rig organized and a lot easier to manage. It lets us create complex movements by just animating a few parent bones rather than having us animate each bone individually. And more importantly, it ensures that our characters move in a way that is much more similar to the way we move in real life, which makes the process of creating 3D animations much more intuitive. And if you want an amazing video that goes in depth about how rigging works in 3D in general, definitely check out this Doodly video called 3D Rigging is Beautiful. Here's how it works, because this is just an unbelievably beautiful explanation of how rigging works, what the difference between skeletons, skinning, and controls are. It's a really great in-depth explanation of how rigging works. And if you want in-depth breakdowns of how rigging works in Blender specifically, definitely check out Joey Carlino's channel, because his videos, particularly this one, Rigging for Impatient People, and the Rigging for Beginners videos that Joey Carlino made, so that's this one and this one, are really, really good, fantastic breakdowns about how rigging works in Blender specifically. And they're super short too, so definitely go check those videos out if you want a little bit more of an in-depth breakdown. about how rigging in Blender actually works. Because yes, we can actually spawn in each individual bone as we have here. We can name them with the correct naming conventions. We can make sure that their orientations are correct so we don't get any issues while animating. We can do all of that stuff by hand. However, I never actually do that myself. That's because I always spawn in a Blender Rigify Meta Rig skeleton, because creating a complete, properly structured rig from scratch is super time consuming, and Rigify gives us a base skeleton with all the essential bones and naming conventions in place, meaning that we can significantly speed up our rig creation process. Plus, Rigify rigs come with a lot of built-in features that really help speed up the animation process, such as a built-in menu that lets us toggle the visibility of different sections of our rigs, pre-created rig control shapes, and more, which gives you much more time to focus on refining your rig and actually creating animations. So as a result, I don't actually ever do this, so I'm just going to delete these right now and show you how I actually rig all of my characters. So to get everything back in our scene, press Alt plus H, that's Alt plus H on your keyboard to reveal everything that was hidden in your scene. So to reveal all is Alt plus H in Blender, and I'm actually going to select this skeleton we spawned in initially for reference and press delete on my keyboard to delete it, because we no longer need that. And now we need to make sure that the Rigify add-on is actually enabled, and to do that we gotta go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, search add-ons for Rigify. There's Rigify, and as you can see for me, it's enabled. If it's not enabled for you, click that checkbox and go to Save Preferences, then close out this window. Now we want to spawn in a basic human meta rig. So we want to press Shift plus A, Armature, and by enabling this add-on, we have this new tab right here, Rigify Meta Rigs. Then we want to go to Basic Human. The reason we want the Basic Human Meta Rig is because while these are fantastic for animals and this human meta rig is great for realistic characters, we really don't need that much detail, because the human meta rig by default has things for like finger controls and mouth controls and controls for the nose and the eyelids, which is just way too much for this art style. So in our case here, we want to go to Rigify Meta Rigs, Basic, then Basic Human. And with that spawned in, we want to go to this Object Data Properties tab, go to Viewport Display, and make sure that in front is checked. So again, so we can actually see our bones and what they look like. Then we want to go to the front view by pressing 1 on our numpad. Then we want to scale our rig. So we're going to press S on our keyboard to scale like so. And if it's not scaling from where you want it to be, make sure that you have either median point or bounding box center selected. So I'm going to scale this so it kind of lines up with our character like this. That's looking pretty good. I can also scale it on the x-axis if I want things to be a little bit wider, which I kind of do in this case. Do it kind of like that. And that's looking pretty good. So with that done, I'm going to press Control plus A and apply all transforms, or you can just apply scale. So I'm going to press Control plus A and apply all transforms or scale. Either works just fine. Now I want to line up our bones with our character here. So I'm going to press Tab to go into edit mode, and I'm going to select all the different heads and tails of these bones and line them up with our character. So for this one, we want to put this generally where our elbow is, this like edge loop right here. And if you don't see your object's wireframe, make sure to enable that by going to Viewport Overlays, Geometry, and Wireframe. Make sure that's visible while you're doing this. Makes your life a whole lot easier. I'm going to select this part of the bone and move this by our wrist. Then I'm going to select this bone and put it on the tip of our hand like so. Or I could even put it slightly in like this. But you're going to notice something by doing this. This is not automatically being mirrored on the opposite side of our model, which is not good. So to make sure that everything we're doing here is actually getting mirrored to the opposite side of our model, we want to click on this button at the top right, which says Apply Changes to Matching Bone on Opposite Side of X-axis. But all that really means is that every action you take on this side of our model will get mirrored to this side of our model. So I'm going to click this right here. Then I'm going to just move this a little bit, and luckily it's just going to snap if I do that. So I'm just going to make sure that all of these ones that I moved are perfectly mirrored on the opposite side. So if you ever mess up and that's not enabled, just remember that you can enable that and then move the bones slightly and have them be mirrored. So that's looking good. I know this bone is used for foot roll, so I'm going to want to move this over, and I'm just pressing G plus X to lock it to an axis. And put the tips of this bone on the edges of our foot so that it can kind of roll when our rig is generated. And that's looking pretty good. We want to make sure that this bone is in the center of our knee. So where this edge loop is, we want this bone to kind of line up with. So that's looking good. All right. This is looking good. So this is confusingly, this is the head bone. I'm going to put this about right here. You can put it on the tip of your character as well, but I'm going to line it up right there. And these two bones right here and here, very confusingly, are the neck bones. And while we're editing these bones, I'm going to press Alt-Z to make sure I'm editing both of these bones at the same time. So I'm going to press G+Z, move this down. This bone, G+Z, move it down. And because this is our head bone, we kind of want it to end. I'll go to press 3 to go to the side view. We kind of want it to end where our neck does, so about right here. Again, we can always change this later. We can always regenerate our rig when we're done, which is one of the awesome parts of Rigify, so don't stress about this too much. We can actually hide these bones too to make our lives a little bit easier, so I'm going to select all these bones, press H to hide. So select this bone, H to hide, select this bone, H to hide. And the cool part is we can edit our bones, so say we want to do this, don't actually do this, and then press Alt-H to reveal it, and it's been mirrored on the opposite side because we have this mirroring option enabled. I'm going to undo that, of course, by pressing Control+Z. Then I'm going to press 3 and make sure our bones here are aligned. So our case here, I'm going to press the tip of this bone here, move that to the front, click on this bone, put it about right here. Then I want to select this bone here and move it to about right here where this loop cut is. And I'll make sure that this bone right here, which is used for foot roll, I believe, is moved kind of towards the back of our foot like this. And that is good enough for now. So now I want to go up here, make sure this is kind of aligned, and kind of want these centered in our model a little bit here, because again, these are going to be joints that are inside our model, so where they're rotated from is dependent on where these are located. I'll move this back a bit, though I will say this doesn't need to be perfect. Do make sure you have a bend right here, because say it's kind of perfectly straight like this, Blender will not be able to figure out which direction your leg will bend. So when you move your character's hips, their leg might bend in this direction, for example. So make sure there's a slight bend in both your leg and your arm in order that Blender can kind of figure that out. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to go to the top view by pressing 7 and align our arm like this. Just move this stuff over because we already lined it from the front view. This one as well. I'll try to move these together, though I don't think that is actually required. Press 1 to go back to the front view. That's looking pretty good. All right. So I'm going to say this looks good enough. There's some breastbones right here that are honestly completely unnecessary. You can just delete those if you want, which I'm going to do here. Then I'll press Alt-H to reveal all of my bones again to see if they're looking good, which they are, though I am going to make sure that there's a slight bend here by pressing G+Y. Because again, I want to make sure these bend correctly when we generate our rig, which we're about to do. So I'm going to go back into object mode. I'm going to hide our turnarounds because we don't actually need those anymore. Now with our skeleton looking pretty good, we're going to scroll down to this Rigify tab. We now have an object data properties thanks to the Rigify add-on. There's a button right here called Generate Rig that we are going to click. And once we've done that, you can now see that we have now generated a rig here. And again, I'm going to click in front so that we can see our rig through our model here. And if we drag this down, you're going to see that we still have the meta rig we spawned in here. So we still have this rig that we just lined up, but we've just generated another rig on top of it, basically. And I'm just going to hide this right now by clicking that little eye icon. Now we want to bind our model to this rig we just generated. And to do that, I'm going to select every object in my scene here. So I'm going to select, I'll go to this preview mode so I can make it a little bit more obvious that what I'm selecting. So I'm going to select my hair, my face, my neck, torso. Oh, that was the rig. I'm going to deselect that by holding Control and then box selecting. So Control plus box select can deselect objects in Blender. So again, I'm going to select every object of my character. I'm going to press the torso, the arms, hands, the legs, the waist, the feet. And we can check if this is actually all of our character by pressing H. So it is. That's fantastic. We'll undo that with Control+C. Then I'm going to shift select the rig. So I'm shift selecting all these objects, but then I am shift selecting this rig. Then I'm going to press Control+P, and then it's going to open the Set Parent To menu. We want to do armature deform with automatic weights. So click on with automatic weights, then go back to this viewport shading mode up here so we can actually see our character. Then with our new armature rig selected, in object mode, we're going to press Control plus Tab to go into pose mode. Now, if we move our character around, you're going to see that she is now moving and fully ready for animation, which is awesome. So you can see that we can move her leg up here and it's bending as expected forward. We can move her arm like this and you can see that it is bending the correct direction backward, which is awesome. We can move her hand like this and it's also working. And her neck is going to be right here, which we can rotate like this. And her head is going to be right here, which we can move around like this. So that is absolutely fantastic. We can move her torso in general and her hands will stay in place and her feet will stay in place because they currently have IK enabled on them. So that is awesome. However, you might be noticing a few issues here. For example, if I move my arm, we have some of the hair following along with the arm like so, as well as different parts of the chest right here. So to fix that, you're going to want to do something called weight painting. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next video. However, if you want to hide some of these extra bones because they're just kind of blocking up your view and they're not necessary, you can just press N on your keyboard. And thanks to Rigify being super awesome, we have this rig layers menu now. So we can actually toggle all of these unnecessary bones that we don't really need to see right now by clicking off, for example, tweak. We don't need any of these FK ones because we don't have FK enabled. We have IK enabled. We'll click off all of these, and these. And now we are only seeing the bones we actually would need to see for the moment. So we can move our character around with the root bone, we can move their torso bone, and move them around very easily in pose mode here, which is fantastic. So in the next video, we're going to talk about weight painting. And remember, if you do run into any issues when you generate your rig, for example, it looks like her neck is kind of leaning forward here, which is not ideal. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you can always regenerate your rig. What that means is that we can go back to object mode, we can hide our rig we just generated and go back to our meta rig. Then we can click on this, go to edit mode by pressing tab. Then we can go to the side view and see that, oh yeah, our spine is kind of leaning forward in an awkward way, which is probably what's causing our neck to be like, at a 30-degree angle like this. So I'm going to press Alt-Z, and you have to be careful, very, very careful when adjusting these spine bones, otherwise you're going to get an error. So I'm going to press Alt-Z to make sure that we're in X-ray view. Then I'm going to select these bones. I'm going to box select to make sure I got both of them and press G and then Y to move this forward a little bit. And I'll also move this one, G plus Y. Again, I'm making sure that I am in X-ray view, G plus Y to move this forward. And this is distracting, so I'm just going to hide all these bones because I don't actually need to see them right now. Back to the side view. And heck, I can even hide my entire arm here, which is pretty nice. I'll go back into edit mode on my skeleton. Just pressing H to hide all of those, of course. And kind of line those up like so. Fantastic. So now I'm going to press Alt-H to reveal all those and hide my turnarounds because I don't really want to see those right now. Now I'm going to hide our newly generated rig, go back to our meta rig, then go to the Object Data Properties tab, the one with a little running man. Then I'm going to scroll down into Rigify where we now see this regenerate rig option. So yes, you can do this at any point of time, which is why it's important not to delete this. You usually do want to keep this because this can be a very useful feature for whenever you want to change something on your rig or go back and alter things in any capacity. So I'm going to click right here on the regenerate rig button in the Rigify tab. So I'm going to click regenerate rig. Then I'm going to hide our meta rig once again and press Control plus Tab, and look at that! It looks like our neck is not tilting forward nearly as much. Still is a little bit, but that's fine. So that's how you regenerate your rig using Rigify. And just so you know, we are in the final stretch of this series with only a few videos on rigging remaining. I've mentioned this before, but the Gumroad version of the series will increase in price after this series is fully completed, so I'd highly recommend going to the description box below and checking it out today in order to lock in the absolute best value on it. It includes an extensive hotkey guide PDF, the final Love Chan model that's fully textured, fully rigged, and fully UV'd from this series, downloadable versions of all the videos in the series with even more coming soon. We're about to hit 50 sales on this, which is amazing, and already have 5 perfect 5-star reviews. So by all means, to get the absolute best value, click that link in the video description below this video to check it out. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video on weight painting.